Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well. In tonight's video, I will be doing my round 9 NRL tip video. In round 8 Anzac round, which just finished off, I managed to get 6 out of 8 games correct. And only 2 games I got incorrect was the Cowboys Knights game. I tipped the Knights. They lost 18 points to 16. And the Warriors just lost to the Melbourne Storm 30 points to 22 in a great entertainment game. Such an amazing game that was. I'll get to the Warriors very soon when I get to them. But without further ado, let's get into round 9 NRL tipping video. And the first game kicking off on the Thursday night at 7:50 PM or 8 PM is the qualifying final rematch between the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks and the North Queensland Cowboys. The Cowboys are coming off a close 2-point win over the Newcastle Knights, 18 points to 16 up there at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, snapping a 3-game losing streak, while the Cronulla Sharks are coming off a good win over the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, winning 33 points to 20, which was actually the highest winning margin. 13 points across Anzac round, because Anzac round was just that damn good. Anyways, yep, so that were the last week's 2 results. So, in the past 10 encounters between these two clubs, the Sharks have had the wood over the Cowboys, as the Sharks have won 8 of the past 10, which includes winning 8 straight. But in the last encounter, the Cowboys beat the Sharks 32 points to 30 in a 93-minute classic encounter from a 2-point field goal from Valentine Holmes in the qualifying final in the last year's final series, which sent the Cowboys straight to the preliminary final, while the Sharks lost to the Rabbitohs in the semi-final the following week. So who do I see winning this qualifying final rematch? Although the Cowboys came off a good win over the Knights, I think the Sharks, being back at home, I think the Sharks will prevail this time. They are looking to get revenge after what happened in last year's qualifying final. So I'm going to take the Sharks here. I think this game will be a high scoring one. I'll go 1-12. The Sharks to win by 8 points. I'll say this game will go with a scoreline of 32-24. Our first of 2 Friday fixtures, the first one kicking off at 6 PM, is between the Parramatta Eels and the Newcastle Knights at CommBank Stadium. The Eels are coming off a disappointing loss to the Broncos, scoring 2 late tries in the second half for them to lose 26-16 to the Broncos, while the Knights are coming off a 2-point loss against the Cowboys up there at Queensland Country Bank Stadium last week, 18-16. So both teams are coming off a loss. Who will prevail? We'll wait and see. So between these two, in the past 10 counts between these two clubs, that the Eels have won 6 of the past 10, which includes winning 5 of the past 6 and 5 in a row. So the Knights have not won since 2019 against the Eagles, and that was at Bankwest. Sorry, my apologies. No, that was at McDonald Jones Stadium. My apologies, when they won 28-14 the Knights. Now this is only the second game between the two at CommBank Stadium. These two have played at what was known as Bankwest back in 2019 when the Parramatta first played at their new stadium, where Parramatta won in a close game 20 points to 14. So who do I see winning this game? This one's a flip of the coin, this one. Now Knights are coming off 2 close games, what they've lost. Now that they have lost 2 in a row. Well, Eels are coming off a disappointing loss against the Broncos. This is a really tough game to call, but being back at CommBank, I will go Para to win this game 1-12. I think Eels will win this game. I think they'll win this one 1-12. They'll win by 4 points with a scoreline of 18 points to 14. I won't be surprised if the Knights win. I'm only going with my gut with this one. I'm only going Eels because it's a home game. So Eels to win 1-12. And the main Friday night fixture, kicking off at 8 PM, is a top 4 showdown between the Brisbane Broncos and my boys, the South Sydney Rabbitohs, at Suncorp Stadium on the Friday night. The Broncos are coming off an okay game against the Eels. I think, honestly, it was the worst game of the round. The Broncos led 22 points to 6 at half time, and they only scored 2 penalty goals in the second half, which that was pretty disappointing. I would probably expect to see better from the Broncos, and they conceded 2 late tries in the second half, going on to win 26-16. While the Bunnies, on the other hand, are coming off a great, well, I guess you could say an upset, but a great win over the Panthers last week, 20 points to 18 to open up Anzac round. I didn't watch the game, unfortunately, but after watching the replay of it, I think it's the best game the Bunnies have had, other than Manly, against Manly, 13-12 when that happened. 20 points to 18. We finally beaten them. Very happy. But with that out of the way, in the past 10 encounters, both teams have got 5 wins apiece, with Rabbitohs winning 3 of the past 5, but the Broncos have won the past 2 against the Rabbitohs. Now, Adam Reynolds used to play for the South Sydney Rabbitohs until he went to the Broncos last year. We lost both games. He only played in one game, Adam Reynolds, as he had COVID in the first game in 2022 against us. Now, who do I see winning this game? This is going to be a great game, but I'm going to go to risk. We're on a form at the moment. I'm taking my boys to go on to win this game, to get the Broncos to suffer their second loss of the season. Now, it will be an interesting result, but I'm going my boys to win this game. I think this will be a very close game. I'll go the Bunnies to go by 2 points. I'll go scoreline 26-24 with a 2-point field goal from Latrell Mitchell. The first of 3 Super Saturday fixtures, the first one kicking off at 3 p.m. down there at Wagga Wagga at McDonald's Park, is between the Canberra Raiders and the Dolphins. The Raiders are coming off a bye, but a week before that, they managed to beat the Dragons in a close game, winning 20 points to 14 down at GIO Stadium back in round 7, while the Dolphins put on a good win, coming back from 26 points down to win 28 points to 26 against the Gold Coast Titans in the latest Queensland Derby. What a comeback for the Dolphins. 26 points to 6 at half time, and they went on to score another 22 points in the second half. The Titans were ultimately choked, but I'll get to them in the next one. The Dolphins putting on, I think it's equal the biggest comeback of 26 points. Unbelievable. Now, there is no stats to go off between these two, as this is the second time these two have met. So, sorry, my apologies, these two have met. This is the Dolphins' first team to play twice in 2023 in their existence. Now, back in round 2, the Dolphins went on to hold off the Raiders to win that game. I believe it was 20 points to 14 as well in that game. I'm not too sure. I think that was the score. That was the Dolphins' second ever win of the NRL. So, I think that's what the scores, but this will be the second time these two will clash. Now, and also this will be the 4th time the Raiders have taken a game to Wagga Wagga. They currently have a 1 win and 2 loss record. They have beaten the Panthers back in 2019, 30 points to 12, and they have lost to the Knights and Storm in 2021 and 2022 respectively, losing to the Knights 24-16 and the Storm last year 30 points to 16. So, other than that, there is no other past encounters between these two other than the one I've just mentioned. So, who do I see winning this game? This one's another tough game to call, but I'm going to go to Dolphins here to win this game 1-12. I think this will be another close game. I will go to Dolphins to win this game to win by 6 points. You know what? I'm actually going to go 20 points to 14 as the scoreline. I think that was what the score was between the two back in round 2. If that was the case, I'm going to go with that scoreline. Dolphins have been on a roll this year, and I know, yes, the Raiders, they won back in round 7 and are coming off the bye, and most of the teams have won the next game when they come off the bye. But yep, there you go. It was 20 points to 14. It was correct. So I'll go that score, 20 points to 14. The Dolphins to win by 6. The next game kicks off at 5:30 p.m. at Four Pines Park between the Manly Warringah Seagulls and the Gold Coast Titans. Manly are coming off a close win over the Tigers, going on to win 22 points to 16. The Tigers almost got them in that game, but one last try from the Manly within the last 15 minutes when they went over. Well, the Titans, oh bloody boy, the Titans led 26-0 before going to halftime, before the Dolphins would go on to equal the biggest comeback in NRL history, to win 28 points to 26. That was so embarrassing for the Gold Coast Titans. They just thought, nah, we got the game. Well, you haven't seen the Dolphins. It's the first time you've clashed with them, and they went on to win 28-26. So embarrassing. Justin Holbrooks will be grinding his teeth at the team before going to Saturday's clash. I'm not surprised the Titans would choke like that. I mean, it's not the first time they've choked in their history. I mean, I'm pretty sure they've choked than any other team, honestly, which I won't get into. But so embarrassing for the Titans. They should have won that game. They had it in their hands, but I guess ego got to them. So embarrassing. I'm not surprised. But anyways, in the past 10 encounters between these two clubs, that it has been 5 games each way, with Manly winning 3 of the past 5. The last time the Titans won at Four Pines Park was back in 2020, where they would go on to win 42 points to 24 against Manly. So, interesting. So who do I see winning this game? Obviously, back Manly, 13 plus. I'm going Manly to win by 22 points with a scoreline of 26 points to 4. Alright, moving on. And the final Saturday fixture, which kicks off at 7:35 p.m, is between the Penrith Panthers and the West Tigers, up towards Bathurst at Carrington Park. The Panthers take their yearly trip to Carrington Park, and it's the West Tigers' turn this time. The Panthers are coming off a very close and shocking loss to the Rabbitohs, 20 points to 18. A try within the final 2 minutes from Isaiah Tass is what caused the Panthers to finally suffer their first loss against the Rabbitohs for the first time since the qualifying final back in 2021. Well, the Tigers, they actually put in a great effort, but unfortunately they are still 0-7. They lost to the Manly Warringah Seagulls at Campbelltown Sports Stadium, 22 points to 16 back in the Anzac round. Now, in the past 10 encounters, Panthers have had the wood over the Tigers, as the Panthers have won 8 of the past 10 encounters, which includes Penrith winning 11 of the past 14 encounters between the two clubs. Wow, unbelievable. Now, this will be the first time these two have clashed at Carrington Park, so it'll be interesting to see how this game will go. Who do I see win this game? Obviously, I will back Penrith to win this game 13+. I think the Tigers will be in it, but I don't think they'll get their first win yet. So I'll go Panthers to win this game by 16 points with a scoreline of 28-12. Our first of 2 Sunday afternoon fixtures, the first one kicking off at 2 p.m, 4 p.m. over there in New Zealand, is between the New Zealand Warriors and the Sydney Roosters. The Roosters are coming off a gutsy 1-point win over the St George Illawarra Dragons on Anzac Day. The Roosters were going to win 27 points to 26. They led 20 points to 6 or something like that at one point. Then Dragons just burst of energy, caught up, but a field goal from the Roosters, from Luke Keary, I believe it was, went on to settle the game, 27 points to 26. Congratulations to the Roosters. While the Warriors, on the other hand, were leading the Storm by 12 points at one point, 18 points to 6, until Warriors went on to lose 30 points to 22. A couple key players, with Tohu Harris especially. The Warriors have believed they lost 4 or 5 players, a couple to HIA, and one to possibly an Achilles injury, which is really unfortunate. But beside that, give a round of applause to the Warriors. They put in a great effort against the Melbourne Storm, and I thought I saw an upset happening here, but unfortunately, the injuries the injuries to the Warriors were too good for Melbourne, as Melbourne would win and come back by 12 points to win 30 points to 22. I'll say that was a great game for the Warriors. I know, yes, they lost, but that was such an amazing performance from the Warriors. But we're on to the new week now, and I'm hoping the Warriors can improve from what they've learnt from against Melbourne. But anyways, in the past 10 encounters between these two clubs, the Roosters have won 6 of the past 10 encounters, which includes the Roosters winning the past 6 games. So the Warriors have not beaten the Roosters since 2018, where the Warriors would win 30 points to 6 at Allianz Stadium. And the last time these two played at Mount Smart Stadium was back in 2018 as well, where the Warriors would lose 32-0. Wow, and the last time the Warriors won against the Roosters in New Zealand was back in 2017, where they won 14 points to 13. So who do I see winning this game? This could be also another game of the round caliber, honestly. But with I want to go the Warriors, like being back in New Zealand, but with the amount of injuries that will happen, and a couple of players that are going to be stood down for HIA coming out of the game against the Storm, I'll have to back the Roosters for this game. But I won't be surprised if the if the Warriors do win. So I'll go to Roosters to win this game 1-12. I'll go to Roosters to win this game by 8 points, with a scoreline of 26 points to 18. Jeez. And the final game to wrap up round 9 of the NRL is between the St George Illawarra Dragons and the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, taking place at WIN Stadium down at Wollongong. The Dragons are coming off a 1-point loss against the Roosters back in the annual Anzac Day clash. The Dragons would come back to score 20 points after being down 20 points to 6 at one point. But a field goal from the Roosters is what caused the Dragons to lose by 1 point, while the Bulldogs are coming off a loss against the Cronulla Sharks, losing 33 points to 20. Now, Bulldogs have still got a bit of an injury toll, but they played, I think, from last week, I think they played very well. Now, in the past 10 encounters between these two clubs, the Bulldogs have won 6 of the past 10, which includes the Bulldogs winning 3 of the past 4, but the Bulldogs have not won 3 in a row in the past 10 encounters. So they've won 2 in a row, 2 times. Now, and also, this is a stat here. The last time the Bulldogs lost the last time the Bulldogs won at WIN Stadium was back in 2012, when they beat the Dragons 28 points to 20. Now, these two haven't played that much at WIN Stadium, as they have either played at Strata or Accor Stadium or ANZ in the past 10 years or so. So this is only the 3rd game since 2012 that these two will play at Wynn Stadium. These two also played at Wynn Stadium back in 2020, where the Dragons won 28 points to 22. So who do I see winning this game? This one's also another tough one, but being back at Wollongong, and I think the Bulldogs are still going to struggle until at least round 11 or so. So I'll go to Dragons to win this game. To win 1 or 12. I think the Dragons will win this game by 6 points with a scoreline of 24-18. And that, everyone, will conclude my round 9 NRL tipping video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment your tips down below, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We are on the way to 900 subscribers. We are currently on 843. I'm hoping we can at least reach 900, maybe by the end of this week, but I'm hoping we can reach it by the end of Magic Round. I'd just like to say thanks to every single one of you who have subscribed recently to make this channel as what it is. I couldn't do it without you guys, but without that out of the way, we're in for another great round of footy. Can round 9 top Anzac round? I don't think so, but you never say never. Anzac round was possibly the best round of football we've had at all. Sorry, the best round of NRL action we've had at all this year. Like we said, this season is still unpredictable. This is the most unpredictable season we've had for a very long time. But with that out of the way, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you all in the next one.